Good evening, members of Spiritual Encounters here on YouTube. Those who follow Spiritual Cryptid Encounters on Facebook. Those who follow my short reels under HCS on TikTok. How's everybody doing this evening? Hope everybody's doing well. There's a lot of knocked on branches and trees. I've seen the other side of a temple, man. It's a lot of damage from the tornado. Buildings that are missing roofs, just flipped RVs and houses with trees on. It's like a lot of damage done to homes, vehicles. I've seen acorn trees uprooted from the roots. That's so strong, and I'm talking about big acorn trees. That's so strong that those winds were, that tornado that came here through Temple yesterday. We still got a lot of work to do. We're just waiting for the backyard to dry up some, and we got a lot of branches we need to cut from our backyard. We're doing all right, brother. You know, no matter what happens, I always place Jesus Christ first. I went into prayer when everything was happening. The tornado was coming through. As far as I know, they say if it sounds like a locomotive nearby you, you better seek shelter because that means that the tornado is nearby. It normally sounds like a locomotive. I've been into a couple of those tornadoes up in East Texas where it literally sounds like the trains coming at you. Over there, they had basements, so we took cover in basements. This when I was 11, 12 years old. There was two tornadoes that surfaced up in between Littlefield and Anton, Texas. And when they went through, they picked up all the cotton from the roots. All the cotton was picked up from the ground. It's like no. Uh, West Texas is. Let me see. West Texas is like towards Midland, Lubbock. We're Central Texas. East Texas is like towards Houston. We're Central Texas. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. The damage it did. I mean, we got the winds. We got some hail. Some of the vehicles got damaged from the hail. But the winds, they were pretty strong. They caused a lot of damage. Let me close this door real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, a lot of damage. It's like the streets looks like grass because of all the leaves and branches that are on the streets. It looks green. And the storms have been constant. After we had a storm that came through last night. We had some storms that came through in the day. So there's still a lot of activity. Just no tornadoes, but the tornado did enough damage. the other side of a temple, I guess where it went through, man, a lot of destruction. I seen a camp, uh, those RVs, the big ones, flipped over upside down. Roofs with no that are missing the roofs. Big old acorn trees uprooted. That's good. You didn't get nothing, but we're okay here. I mean, it's like only a couple of got like trees that fell down, branches, but because we got the winds were pretty strong, like 80, 85 miles an hour. But where the tornado went through, it caused a lot of destruction, a lot of damage. Yeah. Well, like I said, it's the other side of town that got hit hard, which is where it's a location where they're building new buildings and all kinds of. It's like they're trying to make the new side of Temple. It's like a lot of new buildings and all that area got damaged. Where they got the new Walmart that they built, like all that area got hit hard. The VA, the VA, the VA, the what is it? The VFW got hit. The front of it collapsed. I was into prayer. I was looking, make sure. I told my stepsons to barricade themselves in the restrooms, just in case the tornado was going to hit. Uh, so they were there. I had to open up the back gate because it flooded very rapidly. The water was like 4 foot high in my backyard, and water was coming in through the sliding door, and it was coming in through my bedroom. So I went to open up the side gate and let all the water out. Got like a little bruise here and a bruise on my knee where I had to pry it open because the water was so high, and when I opened it, it just gushed out. Uh, but yeah, we had no power till like around 2:30. I made a video last night. I was tired, man. A lot of cleaning. Uh, but one thing is, well, we're not supposed to be brothers and sisters. So it's not to be afraid. No matter what's happening, you have to stay calm and relaxed, and go into prayer, man. Because I tell you what, that makes a big difference when you go into prayer. Uh, the Heavenly Father listens to our prayers, and He makes things happen. But the the tornado was pretty big. Of what I see in the news, that it was pretty massive. No, my backyard's a mess right now. There's a lot of debris from branches. Like I said, we're waiting for it to dry up some so we could clean up. But all throughout the neighborhood, there's a broken tree. There's some trees that are split in half. Uh, there's trees that got literally uprooted from the ground up, and they're on top of the homes, like on top of homes, on top of cars. Seen those big the big RVs, the big ones, the ones that are like brown, upside down. I've seen two of them that are upside down, uh, where the tornado passed through. Houses that are messed up. I mean, like I said, it caused a lot of damage. Uh, I was seeing how strong the winds was. When I went outside, I went outside in the middle of the storm or the tornado because my backyard was flooded. So I tried to go through the front. The wind was pretty strong, but I'm a big guy, I said, man, I can go through the front. So I said, okay, think smart. I came to the back, and I went along my house, and I opened up the door because in the front you got no cover, so something can fly and just pop you. So when you have winds, I think the winds were higher than what they're saying. They're saying they were 80, 85. Nah, it was much higher than that. They just ain't saying it. It was way strong. I believe it was way stronger the way there it was moving. Nah, I mean, I moved here when I got moved in 2015 to Temple. I guess you could say, you know, this is the first time I've seen a tornado pass through here since I've been here. Last year we had a close call where one went down 35, but this was the first one that I've seen that did a lot of damage. But I went into prayer. I wasn't afraid. It's like this. If it's our time, it's our time. There's nothing you can do about fate. But at the same time, there's nothing wrong with going into prayer. You know, I was asked the question, "Were you afraid?" And I said, "I've seen things like this. I'm used to it." Said, being afraid is out of the equation. No matter what you're seeing or what your mind is imagining, you can't give power to it through fear. So basically, I did a lot of rebuking. If fear was trying to come or a bad thought was trying to come to mind of what could happen, I would type on and rebuke it. That's a way you could say negative spirits, unclean spirits work. They try to make you think that the worst, right? So if they make you think the worst and it's causing for you to think that something bad is going to happen or that you're going to be afraid, well, that's a spiritual opening, like I preach, right? My aunt called me and she said if I was okay, and I said yes, we're okay. And she asked me a question. She asked me, "Were you afraid?" And I said, "Look, so honestly, so I've been through this. I've been through this down back home when we were growing up through the hurricanes. Uh, Up in Lubbock, we had through tornadoes there. In the military, I've seen tornadoes. Floods. Floods would come out of nowhere. So I'm used to that kind of weather. When you're used to it, it's like you're just gonna stay relaxed. You can't spaz out because you start freaking out. You're just gonna make things worse for yourself because you're gonna be thinking of the worst, and that's a spiritual opening. Yeah, I was tired yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, a lot of houses got destroyed. Businesses got destroyed. Roofs are completely off of some of the businesses. A lot of damage. But I just pray. I was praying. I was praying throughout the house when all that was happening. So it's important to pray because the Heavenly Father listens to our prayers. No difference that when I was in combat in the battle of the of Medina Ridge and Operation Desert Storm. I wasn't missing the battle. I would just pray. I kept on praying all throughout the battle within myself. I was praying. If it's like I was praying with myself, if I see a target or a tank or something, I'll let the crew know. Tell them where it's at. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 11 o'clock. Just scan. So it's like I'm used to that kind of. How should I say? When you're battle tested, but yeah, tornado could be ferocious. Like what it did a lot of damage. I just try not to give it power. You gotta have your faith. How you doing, Sister Ivy? Yeah, yesterday, man, I was so tired when I got online. I mean, we had no electricity, so I hooked up my phone, and when it finally came on, and I just made a live yesterday. Yeah, I guess they say it's all over the news. I haven't been paying attention to the news, but they say it's everywhere. You know what happened here in Temple? Well, where we live is like on top. It's on top of, like Colleen is further down, but we're on top. So yeah, they have the people with electricity working 24/7. There's areas in Temple that have no electricity. A lot of stores are closed because damage to the businesses. Some businesses they said, "Hey, don't come back to work, file unemployment." That's how bad it is. They tell some people don't come back to work, file unemployment because the business got destroyed. I think it's Coles, Coles in Temple. That's what they told them. Don't come back to work, file unemployment. Uh, the stores, the business is messed up. The roof got messed up or something. I don't know. The clothes got damaged and all kinds of stuff. So they have to file for insurance claims and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I rested all day basically. Um, but I'm doing better. Here in the backyard. Even though it's muddy, we got some branches down over there. There's branches everywhere. We're just waiting for it to dry up. The little patio, we just barely cleaned it, with a power cleaner before this tornado came through, and everything's all muddy, slimy. Yeah, but here I am, still making the lives, placing Jesus Christ first. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been tuning in at nighttime, and I appreciate y'all. For those that hit the like buttons, for those that share out uh, to their friends and stuff like that. Within 2 weeks, I got an extra 400. We're at 1,400 subscribers right now, which is pretty awesome. You know, maybe that picture that I placed where it looks like two skies. Maybe the spirits of the land were trying to tell me that there was a bad storm coming. There's a picture I placed on spiritual cryptid encounters on Facebook. There's a picture where you can see two lands, the land on the ground and the land up on top, and in the middle it would just look like the sky and wind. And maybe the natives or the spirits were trying to let me know that there was a bad storm coming through. That's the only thing I can think of when I was looking at this. I was like, I'm trying to figure out what it's about. It's showing the land and it's showing something strong, like looks like a storm. Uh, so I figured maybe that the spirits were trying to let me know, hey, there's a storm coming. Be ready. Yeah, everybody's fine. As far as I've heard, I haven't heard about any casualties or nothing like that. But the winds were strong. That it shattered a lot of glass, like buildings with glass. I think there was a couple of windows at the hospital that were cracking. That's how strong the winds were. And the hospital windows are pretty thick. We had some light bulbs in the front, and all of them got broken. I guess because of the hail that was coming down on us too. Yeah, the unseen spiritual world is very real, brothers and sisters, and we have to be prepared at all times. Uh, can't give up in life, no matter what you go through, what you experience. Life keeps on moving forward. You can't give up in life. Right now, I have a cousin that's missing up in Misiola. It's been missing for a couple of months now. I don't know. They got him as a missing person. He, uh, so I don't know what's going on with that. Did you find all the the strawberry fish statue is in Erlangen, Germany. There's a picture of that strawberry fest witch Erlangen, Erlangen. That's where the picture of her, the statue of her is. It's in Erlangen, Erlangen. It's a Erlangen witch statue or witch. Some of those churches over there, they have like looks like gargoyles up on top of the churches in Germany. Statues of gargoyles and stuff like that, dragons. If I can find it, I do have friends that live in Germany, uh, but I don't know. I heard them from them in a long time. I had a fellow brother in arms that passed away, I guess, yesterday. I don't know where he resides, but man, we're going through this right now. So the only thing I can do is just, uh, keep him in prayer, for him to ascend to make it into the kingdom of heaven. His name was Eric Penrod. I found out he passed away yesterday, or I believe 2 days ago, the day before the storm or the tornado went through. It was a tornado slash hail, strong winds, and lightning and thunder, you know. In Germany they have a lot of castles also. Yeah, those are the areas where knights used to be. We were called Iron Knights. Our battalion had armor of knights. Had swords, all the weapons that knights would fight with. They had all that. Uh, what is that? The long rod that they ride with the horses, like a spear of some sort. They had that. They had like a net of some sort, and like the armor. They had different kinds of weapons the knights used to fight with. Yeah, joust. There we go, joust. They had all that in the battalion. Maybe you can send it to me, brother Al, of this statue of this witch that you're talking about, and I'll let you know if it is her. Yeah, I got a phone call from a certain individual. They asked me if I was afraid of the tornado, and I said no. Uh, I'm not going to say who they are, but the only thing I can tell you is this individual, it's not a male, it's a female. Um, she showed me what side she she aligns herself with. So the tornado happened. She gives me a call today and asked me how was I doing. And I said I'm doing good. And then she's like, I guess maybe she was calling to see if the ball was alive or something, because that's what normally happens when the spiritual warfare, the but the enemy will contact you. And then I was asked, were you afraid of the tornado? Did you get scared? And I said no. So I wasn't scared. I'm used to this kind of stuff. Then I asked a question and I asked her, hey, didn't a tornado also hit in Houston? Then she didn't say nothing no more, because that's a location where one of her sisters from the sisterhood lives. There was a bad tornado that hit in Houston also. Uh, but, it just was a simple conversation and just left it at that. I'm okay. Everybody in my family okay. Uh, so the only thing I can do is tie, bind, and rebuke any kind of witchcraft or necromancy. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Whoever's here viewing or tuning in, Heavenly Father, at this time I would like to tie, bind, and rebuke any witchcraft or necromancy from anybody trying to do that towards me or my family, my brothers and my sisters, or to my viewers, my family and friends, to the Turners, Brother Josh, Sister Nellie Turner. Uh, we tie, bind, and rebuke you in Jesus Christ's name for whatever you're trying to do spiritually, for it to fail, as the Heavenly Father intervenes and takes care of our spiritual enemies. This I pray in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Spiritual warfare is real, brothers and sisters. And elements are used sometimes through spiritual warfare. It's part of, if the DDN can manipulate time and space, they can manipulate Mother Nature also, where certain things can happen. There's been times that when I've been to certain locations, it feels like the vines come straight out of the ground and try to grab me from the ankle area, and they have thorns on them. So I believe, that things can be manipulated in that way. But at the same time, as we place Jesus Christ first, as we pray through Him, He protects us also when there's something uh, dealing with Mother Nature happening. He protects us from that. Thank you, BK girl. Yeah, you know, things like this is going to continue to happen, and you know, this is the worst I've seen the Mother Nature here. Now, there's always people that think about other things. So if I were to think like some of the people that believe in science, I would say, because I've never seen a storm that strong come through the area. Is it possible that maybe the government has some kind of weapon that manipulates the weather that is making the storm stronger? We could say that, right? Just for the to argue, to disagree, to agree or disagree. But that tornado was super strong. I've seen the winds from when a hurricane comes in inland, pretty strong too. But this tornado that passed through here had a lot of power on it. It had a lot of power. Amen, Sister Delana, that you prayed. Yeah, like right now, you just hear the electric companies. They're everywhere. They're working like 24 hours. I'm talking about people that work for the power lines. They're everywhere. There's still a lot of houses that have no power here. Our neighbors across the street still don't got no power. We got blessed. We got power. One of the first ones to got power. So there's a lot of homes that have no power. Sometimes when you're doing good and you're placing Jesus Christ first and doing the good things, He protects us. He protects us. He protects His people. Uh, so in saying that, we have to always continue to pray to Jesus Christ to protect us. Yeah, it's gonna get a little bit more wars, more. I believe in the Bible it says for the coastlines to look out. One of the things to look out is for the coastlines, which probably would indicate possible flooding. You know, that will be the next thing. A super tornado or some tornado that's never been seen before, or a hurricane is going to surface up and it's going to cause mass destruction. I mean, if this tornado was as strong as it was, I can only imagine uh, a hurricane developing at this time frame right now. How strong that would be. Yeah. So we have to pray, maintain our faith. Uh, you know, things can things can get destroyed, but everything can be fixed, right? Everything can be fixed. Just gotta. It's kind of like a test. If you really think about it, spiritual test. What are people going to do? There's some people that are going to panic. They're going to get scared. That's a spiritual opening, like I've been saying. When you get scared and you start worrying too much, that's when they attack. When you're worrying, uh, so it's a spiritual test. It's like, what are you going to do? I went to prayer. That's what you're supposed to do. Go into prayer. You pray. You call upon in Jesus Christ to protect your home, protect your loved ones, protect as many people as possible, right? Man, I think a lot of people lost a lot of things. Uh, I know there's some policies that don't even cover none of that here in this area. Floods, or I don't know about tornadoes, but if you have insurance on your home, only you know what's covered and what's not covered. So if your house is not being insured properly, then that's gonna be coming out of your pocket. But everybody knows everybody here. There's people that know people, and everybody helps each other out. And which that's how things get done. Like like in my wife's family, there's a lot of construction workers. You know, her dad is a construction worker. They do everything, sheetrock, roofing, walls. So it's always good to know people, right? I know I used to do roofing back in the day when I come out of the military. I was working at Oakwood Homes, so I know how to do roofing and stuff like that. A lot of cars got damaged from hail. You know, yeah, I think a lot of people do have weather insurance, but I just don't know what they cover. The only thing I can say is this, brothers and sisters: the spiritual encrypted encounters is still going strong. Even though I was tired yesterday, I'm here. I'm here talking to y'all. I remember the tornado that I witnessed. This one I didn't literally see the tornado, but I couldn't even see outside because the wind was so strong that the only thing you could see was white. You know, just white, like because of the rain and the hail falling. So you couldn't see nothing. Uh, I could see the furthest I could see was my neighbor's house. That was it. I couldn't see beyond that. So there was because the winds were so strong. There was a lot of debris. Uh, the tornado was on the other side of the highway. I don't know how far from here, but that's where it went through. But we just got the wind. The winds. I mean, it was a pretty big tornado to affect the whole town. It affected the whole town pretty bad. Luckily, people, when you have the heart of a warrior of surviving, because throughout life, throughout our lives, we've seen different types of uh, catastrophic storms or weather that you know what to do. And what you do is clean up. Whenever the time is right, pick up whatever you got to do and fix whatever you got to fix, and you keep on going with life. They don't slow you down. Luckily, here where I live, it's not too bad compared to the other side of Temple where the storm was very severe, that he caused a lot of damage. That's another question I was gonna ask your brother. Sister says, people always ask me about cryptids. Uh, I wonder if any Bigfoots or Dogman were picked up by the tornado, and if maybe there'll be a body of a Bigfoot or Dogman laying around somewhere. Just a question. I mean, they do live in the woods. Where's my cryptozoologist experts? Experts. You figure, if it's uprooting trees, taking the roofs off of homes and cause a lot of destruction, you figure there'd be a dog man or a Bigfoot somewhere on the highway. There was there was there was trees on the highway, so you figure there'll be a dog man stuck to a pole or something in that nature, or a Bigfoot. But where's all the cryptid experts, all these zoologists that are expertise? Oh yeah, or the rising of the creeks, could have swept one away. Somebody going to find one? Should I go look by the creeks and by where the hurricane passed? See where the trail it left a trail where I can go and investigate, see if we can find. We ain't going to find no footprints, but just to see if we can find a body. I'm just saying, right? Maybe you find a Bigfoot or a dogman trapped underneath a tree that fell over. But you figure, right? If all these people in this town that are flesh and blood beings got affected by it, if a cryptid was 100% flesh and they don't have, well, maybe they're going to say, well, they went into the portal of the tree. They went into the tree, or but some of those trees got uprooted, right? Or they're going to say they went into their underground layer and took cover because they know when there's a bad storm coming through. they know when the weather is going to be bad because they're they, they're psychics. They can tell when the tornado is coming. Yeah, they escaped into the portal. I think one of them was trapped into the tree because the tree got so if the tree got uprooted and it went into the tree as a portal, do you think that Bigfoot or Dogman is trapped inside the tree? That's what I'm saying, brothers and sisters. I'm just common sense, right? If they were around to show themselves through this bad tornado that came through. Basically, what I'm saying is there's no bodies because they supposedly live in the woods, right? That some people call them forest people. You're welcome, brother Chuperes. I'm just having a conversation, man. I'm just messing around with y'all, man. I'm just thinking the way some of these people think. They'll eventually find an excuse, right? Well, they probably have a underground layer where when there's a bad storm, but what if it's flooding? Won't they drown in the underground layer? Well, it's an underground layer where it might get flooded, but they have a higher chamber where they're safe from being drowned because they're closer to the ground. But water goes through the ground, the water gets soaked that it floods. That's 4 or 5 feet here. So anything going into the ground, right? You figure would drown. I'm just here, just saying my point of view. Trying to test it out. Something tragic happened. You figure there's gonna be you're gonna find a Bigfoot or a dog man or a goat man or a moth man or a chupacabra, something, something, something that's cryptid, right? We're gonna find something. There you go, brother. I mean, y'all seen the news? Damaged homes, damaged cars, damaged trees falling, trees or a mass object uprooted from the ground up. I mean, acorns, giant acorns, uprooted from the ground up. Good evening, brother Chupides. Thank you, brother. I'm just trying to interact with the crowd because I know sometimes some cryptid believers jump in here, so I'm just throwing it out there. Different different theories. What happens to the Bigfoot when there's a bad storm? Oh, the Bigfoot says this: "Beam me up, Scotty." The alien comes in the UFO and beams them up to the spaceship, takes them to safety to a different location. Oh, my house is already dry. I didn't let the water come in. I barricaded. I put a lot of towels so it wouldn't come in, and then I kept mopping it, mopping it, mopping it. That's why I was tired yesterday. I was I said, screw this. I went outside. Well, the storm was going strong, and I opened up the side fence, and all the water just gushed out. That helped out a lot when I did that. You don't think about it because it happened so fast. It wasn't even raining. It just happened so fast. Everything happened so fast. I was outside looking at the sky, and my alarm went off about a tornado watch, and I'm looking up in the sky. I'm not seeing nothing, and then all of a sudden, it hit us. Yeah, I'm just playing around right now. I'm just thinking how a those scientific people that believe in UFOs and these cryptid people, how they think. You figure something like that, or there was a flood, right? And you find something. The creeks rise here pretty bad when it rains hard. When it comes from up, it comes down. The rains so much rain. The creeks, it's like a little tsunami. If you're standing in the creek, you just see a bunch of water coming all at once. You better jump off that creek, but if not, it's gonna take you. It'll take you like a flash flood, and it comes like probably it's probably like the flash flood when it comes. It's probably like to 10 to 12 foot high. It just takes you. You could be in the middle of the empty creek bed, and it'll come that fast around the bend. So if I was you, if you were ever in Texas, try to stay away from the creek beds that are dry because that water come out of anywhere. But yeah, I'm just trying to have a conversation with y'all, brothers and sisters. You hear all these people that talk about this and that. It's like I said, bad storm. You figure something would happen, right? That you find something, some kind of evidence. Yeah, I walked right through it. I've been when I used to live in Elms Grove, I've had water all the way up to here. Which is probably like 5 foot, 5.5 feet, almost tall. I mean, water high like that from the creek when it rises up. We're keeping your mother Myra in prayer, brother, for the doctors to do the works and for the heavenly angels to protect her, uh, and the heavenly Father, the healer, to watch over her and heal her from from the stroke, brother. This we pray in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. Akira gets pretty bad where it was flooding, and you're trying to cross a creek. Don't cross it because it'll take you. It'll take you into the creek, and the creek, the water is very rapid, and the undertow is strong. So if I was you, if you're ever in Texas, you see water going through over a bridge, don't go through it. You know, let it reside some, because eventually it'll reside. Once it resides and the water's not going through on top of the bridge, then you can go through it. But I would suggest not to go through it because it'll take you. You're welcome, brother. In the military, we used to train in all this weather. I would train through tornadoes, through flash floods. I'll be out there in my Gumby suit and the water like high up to the chest, and we're looking at the map of the next mission we're gonna do. We're not even worried about the weather being all the way up to our chest. We're just looking at the map and we're planning out the next thing we're gonna do for maneuvers. So I'll train in all kinds of terrain. I've trained through sandstorms, through temperature below zero in Germany, in the ice, in muddy land in Germany when it was cold, ice, and muddy. That it was so muddy that your track of your tank could slip off because of the mud. So you had to move very slow, or else you're going to lose your track because of the mud. Mud that you could say was so thick that it could be like quicksand. How you doing, Randy? Uh, and back home when I was growing up, we was always getting hurricanes, and then we get hurricanes on the Gulf. Like the Gulf was like 24 miles away from our home, from the Port Mansfield, and then we'll get sometimes tornadoes inland when there's or we call them dirt devils, but they were kind of like tornadoes. Not as strong as the tornadoes up here, but they can still do some damage. Oh, the Law Foundation is perfect. Maintaining my Law Foundation daily. That's something that cannot be broken, brother Randy. As I love maintain my Law Foundation daily. Like I was telling everybody, I've seen a lot of things while I was in the military. Before the military, uh, they used to put me when I was in the army. They were like, "Hey, we need some volunteers. We got a fire down range. We got a fire on Fort Hood. We need volunteers. Everybody, grab your shovels and all this. We're gonna go help out, volunteer, and go put out the fire out there." So I was in fire detail sometimes. I was on lumberjack detail where the fire was coming. So we would cut certain areas where there was trees and stuff like that, so the fire wouldn't spread to certain areas. So I would do a lot of that kind of work on Fort Hood, as it was called a detail that we had to do. I got a lot of people in prayer because I traveled to this side of town where the tornado the went through, and there's a lot of devastation and destruction on that side of town. So in spite that, thank God that I'm okay here, even though we have to do some cleaning up. I got a lot of people in prayer on that side of the town because I've seen the devastation. So I could only imagine how some of those people are feeling right now. When you go through a natural disaster, you get affected by it, right? Like a form of PTSD of some sort. Yeah, voluntold, yeah. They're like, you look like a fireman. Come on. They said, you look like a lumberjack. Come on, jump on a Humvee, jump on the Deuce and Half. Let's go. So one time, they volunteered me to download all the vehicles from the train track from onto off the railhead in Bremerhaven when we're going to go to Operation Desert Storm. And it's like I had to learn how to drive vehicles without I had never drove in those vehicles. So I was driving vehicles that I didn't even know I would just look at the instructions and start it up and move it down. Vehicles I had never operated before. But that's how you learn, right? Jesus has always been with me. You had to double clutch it, the deuce and half. Yeah, I knew how to drive a deuce and half, double clutch. You had to double clutch it, the deuce. I had like my military license had. I could drive like several. I could drive a deuce and half, a 5 ton, a Humvee, a PC, a tank. Uh, shoot, what else? Man, I could drive it just about anything when I was in the military. I even drove the 88 one time when I drove it off that in Bremerhaven. So I know how to operate vehicles. It's kind of self-explanatory. You just got to follow the instructions, and you take it from there. Somebody says they've been having spiritual attacks. Recently, a choice between Jesus and the emerge. I never heard what a the emerge is. I mean, now you're saying it's something else. That's on the other side of the balance. Maintain my faith with Jesus Christ. He said, maintain my faith with Jesus Christ. Yahweh is Jesus. Jehovah. Jehovah. Uh, I know there's people that practice certain things over there, but to me, when you have to kill an animal as a blood sacrifice, then they're not really worshiping gods. They're worshiping demons. That's what they're doing, is worshiping demons. Blood sacrifices. Yeah, there's a lot of people that dabble in the arts and stuff like that, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Is have a relationship with Jesus Christ. With Jesus Christ, that's where the real power comes from. Is Jesus Christ. Everything else that's man-made or that's demons infiltrating, right? Uh, that's just how should I say, a form of witchcraft or necromancy. If you open yourself to that dark, if you open yourself to that dark, the Hindu and all that stuff, then it's you allowing it, and you're feeling the effect because you're allowing it to affect you. Amen, brother Randy. Those things that they practice in those countries that they sacrifice animals, that's not dealing with Jesus Christ, man. I'll be honest with you. That's doing with demigods or demons. Get it? Demons. That's what that is. Demons. A manifestation of the demons that they believe in. Uh, and a demon can possess animals. Not that the animal's going to manifest into anything, but the animal can come at you and try to harm you. Had an experience like that with a camel at a petting zoo. I was taking my son to a petting zoo, and we had already gone all through all the petting zoo. You know, we're seeing buffalo, deers, and rhinos, giraffes, ostriches. There was this camel. So I went like this. I had some food in my hand to so the camel could eat. But the camel was looking kind of weird at me, and the camel stuck my arm all the way in its mouth, and he had me from the elbow. And he was acting strange, the camel, and he was trying to yank me out of the out of the vehicle, and my head was sitting inside the truck. So I started praying, and I looked at the camel, looked at it in his eyes, and I used my love foundation. I was praying, and I touched it like this. When I touched it, it let me go, but it hurt me. It's like it ripped the muscle from like my neck all the way down my spine, and I was in pain. And the camel looked at me, and the camel looked different. It didn't look like it was looking at me when he grabbed me from the elbow. And then the camel just started going like this and wiping his head on my shoulder, like letting me know that he was sorry. So I knew that it was something else that used the camel to attack me in that form. So I just petted the camel and we left. You know, I knew the people from the petting zoo, you know, and they were always cool with me and my son. So I didn't like say anything to anybody. I just sucked it up, sucked it up, and it took me like a couple of months to heal from that rip. But I know it wasn't the camel. I seen the real spirit of the camel after whatever when I went into prayer, after it left, and the camel had more of a heart than the demonic spirit that was in it. Just put it that way. Satan is already casted down from heaven. He will never make it into the kingdom of heaven. Dark. So his fate is already sealed at at that time of day of judgment. Him and his followers, or anybody that made deals with him, they will all go into the lake of fire. Their fate is already sealed. You're talking about the balance, Stark. Uh, what do I think about Allah? I know in Spanish we call it a la chingada. A la chingada, that's all I know in Spanish. I don't know, I'm not from the Muslim world, but I know that there's a lot of djinn over there running loose in the desert. I call them DDNs, but djinn are demonic beings. They run loose over there in the Muslim world. A la chingada is Spanish saying like when something happens, like for example when the tornado came through, a la chingada. It's like a la chingada. You see that? You see that tornado? A la chingada. That's the only a la I know. A la chingada. Or you hurt your leg. A la chingada. I hurt my leg. A la chingada. I just hit a car. A la chingada. I'm in an accident. A la chingada. The police pulled me over. Oh, man. That's the saying we say, right? A la chingada. And there's other things, other bad things that we say. Certain things happen, but I'm not going to say. I'm trying to keep it spiritual here. On spiritual encrypted encounters. You can only pray. You can only pray. You can enlighten people spiritually of what to do, and it's at the end it's up to every individual. It's a personal decision if somebody wants to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. So people might ridicule you, and some people might appreciate you and love you for awakening them. But that's life, you know. It's a narrow path that only a certain amount of people are going to make it into the kingdom of heaven, because especially with all the things that this world has in this world, that so many distractions that people forget to have a relationship with Jesus Christ because they're living the moment, right? Everything that's here in this world is created by man is going to stay here. You know, it's about our spirit. So we have to prepare our spirit in order for our spirit to be able to ascend. And one of the important things, the preparation of our spirit, is to maintain the love foundation daily, practice the love foundation daily. And as we practice it, place Jesus Christ first, then when it's our time to cross over, that we've trained our spirit enough, right, to be able to ascend to make it into the kingdom of heaven. But only those that accept Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior are the ones that are going to make it into the kingdom of heaven. They have to accept Him in true faith. Not everybody's going to make it, because not a lot of people believe in Jesus Christ uh, because of being spiritually bonded by demonic forces, that they're holding them back from their destiny. He says, "Do you believe this plane we are in right now is evil or good?" Well, that's already a easy question for you, man. There's the balance. We're speaking about good things here, right? We're speaking about Jesus Christ. We're talking about love foundation. So I guess it must not be that evil if we're talking about a love foundation and placing Jesus Christ first. But there's both forces is part of the balance here on earth. We got good and we got bad. You see it all the time. You see people doing evil in this world, and you see people doing good. The media doesn't show the people doing good. They will put a tornado, uh, the pictures of the destruction, just for the fear factor on the news, because it gives them views, right? Something tragic to put on the news, but they won't put somebody talking about a love foundation. They won't put something where people say, "Don't be afraid, go into prayer, pray to Jesus Christ." They won't place that. They just want to place things that for the fear mongering, right? They leaves openings to something else. That's why I say to y'all, no matter what situation you're going through, maintain your love foundation and place Jesus Christ first. That's what I did. As soon as that thing went off about a tornado, I went immediately to prayer. Yeah, I mean, I don't even really watch TV, man. There's so many things on TV that's against God, that I don't even watch TV. Uh, I rather do lives and talk to y'all spiritually late at night. What time is it right now? It's 2:39, and we're going strong here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. This is what we do late at night. Not even a tornado is going to stop me from doing my live feeds. You see me last night? I did one when I got power back on, you know. Now this is my time to cross over, and the Heavenly Father is taking me for a higher mission, then that's different. But here I am. There's one thing I've learned in life. No matter what you're going through, or don't let it stop you from being you. Don't let it change your demeanor. Don't let it change your heart of who you are. Be you. This is me. Coming live here to all the viewers. Yeah, I've witnessed a lot of things, and some things that I witnessed. Spiritually, I was shown something, but I couldn't help individuals at the time when I was shown because it was already too late. I was just shown where maybe I will go to find a person that is not here no more, because the Heavenly Father wants a person to be placed in holy ground, right? If I would be in a situation where somebody, a current of water is taking somebody, or something of that nature, or there's danger, I'll help out that individual right there and then, right? But there's times that things happen, but life doesn't life keeps on going. Yeah, I got a shot right here. Shot of some agua, some water. Even though I got a lot of bottles of liquor in there, it's like all these people. At one time, I would drink brandy. So when my birthday comes on, they're like, "Hey, give me this." My father like, "Hey, I bought you a bottle from Mexico. Bottle of Oso Negro. Bottle of Presidente." This other guy gave me a bottle of what was the bottle he gave me? Don Pedro. So I got like a lot of Spanish bottles. I'm talking about big bottles that are just there. I haven't even touched them because I really don't drink anymore. So people, I got so many bottles. I got a bottle of what is it? The brandy, Crown Royal. Got bottles of tequila, bottles of champagne, but I gotta protect the vessel, man. I gotta protect the vessel to be able to do the spiritual works. How you doing, Emmanuel Matias Lopez? Oh shoot, that's a joke. He said today I called a kid a fake gangster today at school, and he got angry, so he owed me 6 pizzas to my house using his own money. That's funny. But yeah, man. It's a time, certain locations, certain regions, uh, like in the desert, where I was out there in combat after the war, and we destroyed the elite armies that they had. Then it became more of a like urban warfare, like gang warfare, where people were fighting the ISIS and stuff like that. Because they lost in the open desert when we went to tank battle. So they got smart and they said, okay, if we fight another war. It took them how long? Like 20 years, just about 20 years just to do something. All right, took them 20 years to come up with a game plan. This awesome brother Chuperes. Yeah, so it's not good, you know, when women and children are getting targeted, getting murdered. That's not a good thing. Why? Especially children, because those are God's children. If those people think it's some kind of power taking a life, well, karma always comes around. And when it comes around, it's a done deal, and it's too late. There is secret societies. I remember somebody had sent me a message one time about if I wanted to go fight against the ISIS one time. They said they would pay me a certain amount of money, but I told them no, and I left it at that. I told them no. Uh, then it's when I lived in Elms Grove. One evening that I was gonna go check in the mailbox, there was this little black car, and there was two people that looked like they were Muslims. It was a male and a female, and they were dressed all in black, and they were just looking at me, and I was looking at them. It's kind of like they knew who I was, so I'm looking at them just to see what they're gonna do, and they're looking at me, and I just go like that, like don't do it, because then I would have to do what I had to do. So I walked home. They got in the vehicle and they left. Amen, brother Randy. You're sober. Jasper says he likes rotisserie turtle meat especially in sandwiches. So he's out of here. The trolls are coming out already. It's the trolls that like corn on the cob coming out that are from OKC. He's not talking about corn on the cob no more. He's talking about he likes turtle meat. But I booted him out. Anybody got any questions? Or would you like me to share a story? Say a topic and hey, turtle meat. Germans like turtle meat. I'll be honest. They like the turtle to be boiled. They'll take the shell off of it and they'll boil the turtle and they'll eat it with their fingers. They'll eat a turtle. The Germans do. It was on the menu, just put it that way. And it stunk also. I believe that the Bigfoot or anything that's cryptid are demonic. That's what I believe. I don't believe that there are flesh and blood creatures. Just being honest. There are what I call the DDN, the disembodied demonic Nephilim, which are demonic in nature. You can add anything demonic to it that has the ability to manifest. That's what people are witnessing within the cryptid community. That's why there's no evidence of any cryptid being captured or any dead body of cryptid, because there are demonic of nature. Just being straight up, Antonio. Sometimes there's people that eat squirrels also. They kill a squirrel, they skin the squirrel, and then they wrap it with bacon and put it on the pit. They said that the squirrel meat is pretty good, since the squirrel is always just eating, acorns. Because since we're talking about tornadoes, I'll share the story of what happened when we lived out there in the ranch in between Littlefield and Anton. It was already we had work that day. We're working in the fields. We work in the cotton, taking out the weeds from the fields of where the cotton is, so the cotton can grow. And we had just barely got home, and my mom was cooking in the kitchen. She was making fresh tortillas. Next thing you know, when I step outside, because I was going to go outside to play, I would do a little bit of martial arts back then, had some nunchucks and stuff like that. And when I looked to the left, I seen a tornado. I ran inside, hey, there's a tornado. Then when they went outside, it wasn't one tornado, it was two tornadoes. And they're coming straight for us. And we grabbed this candle. We had to go into the basement. But see, that was a problem of going into the basement. We were afraid of what was in the basement. What was in the basement was a giant salamander that was poisonous, had black and red, red dots and yellow dots on it, and it was pretty big. So, and it had like a trail in there in the basement. So, man, we saw those two tornadoes coming through. We went down there. We got in. We closed the doors. and we had the candle, and we had a shovel just in case a salamander would come out, because it was pretty big. And we were just going into prayer. We went into prayer, and you could hear the tornadoes. It sounded like a locomotive, like it was coming. You could hear like a sound of a locomotive. We were just praying and praying and praying and praying, and then it's kind of like you didn't hear the locomotive no more. We all got out there. When we come out of the house, uh, there's debris everywhere. I think it hit the shed where our boss had like all his equipment, the tractors and stuff like that. There was a lot of that aluminum from the shed everywhere. When we look at the fields didn't have no cotton. It was missing all the cotton from the fields, where the tornado literally sucked up the cotton from the fields, from the roots. Uh, it's just the crazy story was about that is it was two tornadoes, but we were more afraid of the salamander that was in the basement than the tornadoes. That we just wanted the tornado to pass by so we could get out of the basement because the salamander was pretty big. I don't know. There's so many cryptozoologists, and nobody's been able to capture a Bigfoot or find a body of a Bigfoot. It was it's just a story. You hear the story about this girl. It's just a story. You know, a story that somebody's saying just to keep Bigfoot, the myth of Bigfoot alive. Because you figure by now, and I was talking about this earlier. When this tornado passed by, there's got to be a Bigfoot uh, or a dogman trapped somewhere by a tree or a body found with this tornado that passed through the temple. That there would be some kind of damage, right? Or a body of one of them found. I was making fun of it because to me they're not real flesh and blood. They're more of demonic, disembodied. No, we didn't get no tornado damage. We just got some water in the house, but we picked that, mopped that up, and a lot of branches are down, but no damage. Like I said before, Sister Cottrell, maybe the person was lost so much that she was imagining things, right? The story of this woman. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people that are hoaxers that make stuff up just to keep the myth alive. There's a lot of people in the cryptid community that do just that by themselves. They're dressed up in costume. They're wearing baggy costumes, making videos, making it seem like they're real. And I'm more than sure if somebody had a weapon and they would shoot it, if somebody had a weapon that would shoot it, that when they go to the body of the Bigfoot or Dogman, if they're supposedly gilded, that they'll be able to pull off the costume off the person. I'm just being honest with you. No, they didn't give a warning. It just happened real quick. The animals were scared, so we I put them in the restroom to protect them. I don't know, Big Lenny, about Bigfoots. No, I've seen activity. I've seen something that looked like a Bigfoot. That was like, I say like 13 foot tall. I would say probably like 10 feet wide, coming at me. A dark shadow figure as I was going onto the highway and it was coming into the woods. We crossed paths with each other, but it went through me. So when as I kept on walked there onto the highway, I started feeling different. Like something was trying to possess my body. So I prayed against it. I started going to prayer. I didn't go home immediately. I went to the park and I stayed there praying for about 30 minutes till all these bad images and bad thoughts of when I brushed against whatever looked like a Bigfoot went through me, which to me was demonic. That's why I felt it was trying to possess me, you know. Maybe the giant Bigfoot is not just one thing, or it's a disembodied demonic Nephilim, or maybe it's more than one. A lot of demons traveling as one, you know. But I prayed against it, and I was able to go home after I did that. I'm just letting you know that a Bigfoot doesn't have the ability to possess anybody. Because to me, a Bigfoot is not real. It's not a flesh blood creature. It's demonic. I thought when it hit me that I was gonna fly back because as big as it was, right? It went right through me. What is it saying to be right through me? Demonic of nature. I'm just being straight up here on spiritual encrypted encounters. No, people say that because they want to keep the myth of Bigfoot, that it's a flesh and blood creature. It's not a flesh and blood creature. It's demonic of nature. I'm just being honest, Brother Lenny. I mean, I know there's people that this the thing, Brother Lenny or Big Lenny, is if the demon is manifesting to look like a Bigfoot, or and he wants you to believe it's a Bigfoot, but then he goes right through you, and you're like, wait a moment, what the hell was that? That was that big, and he went right through me, and you start having these emotions of like bad thoughts, and you start not acting yourself like something's attached to you because it went through you, and you have to go into prayer and fight spiritually to fight the demonic force, right? Because it's like a form of possession. That's when you know that what I thought I saw a Bigfoot was not a Bigfoot. It was a demonic being. You could say that I call them the disembodied demonic Nephilim. They're the spirits or disembodied spirits of the Nephilim, which were giants, in which they had the capability to look that way. I'm reading some of these comments. Yes, skinwalkers can disguise themselves as anything, using the hides that they have as animals, plus they can manifest into the elements of Mother Nature. Yeah, I've seen skinwalkers. I've seen how the shapeshifter looks before it turns into a shapeshifter skinwalker. It's the same thing, right? Same thing. Shapeshifter skinwalker Wendigo comes from the native, right? The native from native people of the land. Yeah, I've seen a shapeshifter skinwalker. Some people call it no. What do they call it? No, nowhere something. I don't know. NOOR They got a certain name for it, but I seen it. It was. I have it on spiritual and cryptic encounters. I have to look for the name that they give it, but it's got a different word for it. Yeah, they can manifest to anything. They can mimic any voice. The skinwalker I ran into. Well, I'm gonna share the story with y'all. Whoever's here tuning in, you know, I'm wide awake right now, so y'all gonna hear. It's gonna be a good one. In Elms Grove, I live in a mobile home, and my Chihuahua was barking. My Chihuahua was barking, and the Chihuahua every time it barked, it's like the Chihuahuas are smart as hell. Every time I go look outside, there's always somebody there, right? Somebody's either walking or somebody's driving by. Well, he was barking. I went outside. I didn't see nobody on the street. But what I did witness was a fox. A red fox was just looking at me. This fox had like a little glare in his eye. He looked kind of yellowish. So I'm looking at the fox and it's looking at me. We're probably like 6 feet away from each other. But he's not moving. I was like, man, that's weird. You know, normally a fox or a possum or a raccoon, they take off running, right? But he's just looking at me. So I go get up a little bit closer to it, and he turns around and he starts walking away from me, like he's not afraid of me. So I start following the fox. You know, I start following the fox. I'm like 6 feet away from it. Miss Kim's mobile home is there. There's a fence. It goes around the fence, and I follow it around the fence. When I follow it around the fence on the street, it's not the fox no more. What I witnessed was an old man that looked like a hunchback. He was barefooted, naked. On top of his head, he had the fur, the face of an animal here, because I could see the hide on his back. You could see the skin on his legs. He was barefooted. But the problem about this was it was cold as hell. I'm like, he's out here barefooted in the cold, walking, he's naked. You know, the only thing he's got is hide. So I follow him. You know, I follow him. I'm like, you know, there's street lights in the mobile home park, so I follow him up the street. He takes a left. Now, and keep him a distance away from him. You know, because when I was looking to the left, I didn't see the fox. So I'm following this guy. He goes up to the stop sign. He takes a right. And I'm following him. He's walking. I'm following him. He walks around the quad, but past the embark, and he starts walking towards the airport, Killeen's old airport. So I'm following it, you know, and I'm looking at it. He's walking. Then he takes a left by the fence. So I go up towards the fence, and I see him walking along the fence. Then he goes behind a bush. So I'm like, I'm looking from the street. I said, well, I know he's behind the bush. Maybe that's where he's living. That's where he's staying. Maybe he's homeless, you know. You start thinking things like this. So then from behind that bush, I see a St. Bernard running. And he goes behind another bush. So I'm paying attention to the two bushes that are there. Is the one where the supposedly old man or skinwalker is. And I'm looking at the one where the St. Bernard was. So I'm looking and I'm looking, and I don't see nothing coming from there. All of a sudden, a bird flies from behind the bush where the St. Bernard was. So I said, okay, I'm going to go walk along the fence, and I'm going to see if that man's there. I walked along the fence and went around the bush. There was no man there. I looked to the other bush. There was no St. Bernard there. There's my story to you of the shapeshifter skinwalker that I encountered. That just like that it can manifest and shapeshift into anything in the blink of an eye. Yes, brother Lenny, they're good for asthma. Chihuahuas. Let me read some of his comments. This was like the time frame this happened was like 2:30 in the morning, man. No, I'm prior military. I would do the night shift all the time. I'll do night shift in the woods, in the army. The bird that makes the weird noises here again. Remember that? I think that's what the dogs are barking. He's making a noise on the tree. Probably a tecote or an owl. If it makes the loud sound, I'll move the camera that way so y'all can hear it. Yeah, it's just like I never, luckily, didn't turn into the form of the Wendigo. Even though I was following it, I never gave it the power of belief. You know, yeah, I never gave it the power of belief. That's what you got to do. Don't give it the power of belief, because then they can have some authority over you, spiritual authority over you, and try to do something to you. Man, I'm just letting you know, man. And it's like this. Just like demonic beings that travel in numbers, the Legion travels in numbers. The DDN were many, right? Legions were many. The 1/3 were many. The skinwalkers, shapeshifters, they're many also. Imagine how many shapeshifter skinwalkers there is. I know in Central Texas, there's a lot of them. Uh, the land belongs to them, so they get territorial if you enter their land. They come at you because even though they're not here in the flesh, they're territorial of their land, like they were before. Uh, they look at me, they're like, this is a new kind of Indian that's coming into our land. Let's take them out. Let's shove them off the cliff. I still haven't posted pictures when I was messed up. I'll show them to y'all one day. I'll make a short video of all the times that I got attacked, where I'm all bruised up, and I got some of them. I got scratches where I was fighting spiritually there in Elms Grove. I forgot to do that, but it's kind of like you can see just nothing but purple, man. Where I'm bruised up pretty bad. Big Dog came out on These Woods Are Haunted, Season 3, Episode 2 on the Travel Channel. I could be in Discovery too now, I don't know. Because I know that Travel Channel, that show is everywhere. Uh, it's called Something Is Out There. Season 3, Episode 2. I did a show for the Travel Channel. Me and my sister came out on it. It's like I was gonna do it by myself, but then they said they needed more people, so I said, okay, I can get my sister. There was another person that was supposed to do it, which was a person that witnessed the shadow beings that surrounded the vehicle, but the person decided not to do it, backed out at the last moment. It's called Something Is Out There. It happened in Killeen, Texas. How you doing, Colette Moore? Yeah, and the the shapeshifters, as y'all know, one of the favorite transformations will be a beastly creature, either a a lycanthrope, because they're witnessed not just here in Texas, in Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Arizona. The light shapeshifting into this werewolf-like creature, and they can shapeshift into any beastly manifestation, even a Bigfoot. I have some old videos that I wish that I had a better camera when I captured them, but it's kind of like I don't know if I'm gonna go back to Elms Grove just to catch evidence out there of what's out there. Uh, I've been back there once or a couple of times, but I know there's another area on the other side of Elms Grove that is pretty bad also, where there's a creek where I used to go fishing. I literally seen something that looked. It was like around 6 o'clock. Me and my son were fishing. He came from the wood line and was looking at us. Now that one looked like a Bigfoot, and it was just looking at us. But at the same time, the way the thing was hanging from the sides could have been a hunter, or maybe a veteran, that might have gone out of the grid, because I don't know, it just looked weird. He was looking at us, and I was looking at it, but it was like a dark shadow, but it was pretty big. Uh, so I said, son, reel in your reel. Let's go, mijo. Let's go home. Said, Dad, I don't want to go. I said, no, son, we need to go right now. Just reel it in. We're gonna go. Once he started reeling in it, he looked at us and he just turned around and walked away. It's kind of like it was letting me know, you need to leave now. You know, get out of here. So I grabbed our stuff and we walked home safely. But that happened on the other side, Elms Grove. The natives that used to live in Central Texas were woodlanders. They liked living by creeks and by lakes. They would literally make a home out of the woods, branches. They'll make a home. So when you hear about people saying, "Oh, look at the Bigfoot made this home, this shelter," well, the woodlanders used to do that. The native woodlanders, where maybe what they're witnessing is not a Bigfoot, but possibly a skinwalker, shapeshifter slash woodlander, whatever, that has the ability to do that to make something look like a home. No, I didn't go to the police. I just didn't want to know what that was about. So I got my son and we left. But there's some dogs barking. Been barking for a while now. But the sound of the bird went away now. Activity normally picks up right now. Oh, that's why. It's three something here, 3:16 in the morning. No wonder I was hearing the bird in the tree, or should I say the lechuza. They're probably pissed off. They're like, man, this tornado came through out here and he's still out here talking about Jesus Christ in our time. There's trees all over his yard and stuff that needs to be cleaned up, and he's still out here making videos. It ain't gonna stop me. So if I do see that lechuza like I seen last time, what I'm gonna do is flip the camera around to face the direction where it's at. If I see it again. Yeah, I've always had a lot of doubters, till some of them went to the area where I had my experiences, and they found out firsthand. There was some that brought their equipment, they got attacked by an unseen force, and they never came back. Just put it that way. Uh, I literally had to carry one of them on my shoulders out of the woods where they had no energy. Now you have to be prepared when you're fighting these unseen forces. You have to prepare yourself spiritually. You know. Oh, they're there in Elms Grove, especially like when there's a natural disaster like this. You know, all those things surface up. Uh, but yeah, there's been some people that I took. They brought some people that were in the military. Some were they believed in other things that didn't believe in Jesus Christ, and they got spiritually attacked. They had to carry them out of there or help them out of there, put them back in their vehicle because their energy got drained. Spirits, of course, Aaron Bauer, we're all spirits. And we got a troll. And the troll is gone. There's we are spiritual beings. There's angelic spirits. There's demonic spirits. Well, I got one of the trolls that popped here right now. So the Chernovsky got kicked out. So anybody, I mean, I don't mind y'all here. You wanna discuss something? Let's discuss. But anybody's disrespectful, I just boot them out. You don't believe in what kind of stuff there, Aaron? So what do you believe in there, Aaron Bauer? You believe on the Tooth Fairy? What do you believe in? Talk to me. What do you believe in then? You believe in Joe Biden? You believe in nothing? Then what are you doing here if you don't believe in nothing? Okay. Given an opportunity to say something, so he's out of here too. He was just trolling. There's another one. He's out of here. Exactly. All right. I'm just putting out the trolls, people. We're having a decent conversation to this start popping up. We're talking about skinwalker shapeshifters. Yeah, sometimes the skinwalkers they like to mess with you. They'll leave, like, for example, shredded bamboo. They'll shred the bamboo into very small shreds and leave it right there, like in the park where I used to live. They'll leave it on the picnic table, all around the picnic table. Like, I'm talking about shredded into little pieces. So it had to be something sharp that shredded, right, the bamboo. And they will leave shreds just there in the park, like letting you know as a warning. Don't come over here or you're gonna get shredded like the bamboo stick, like cut into little shreds, like thin shreds of bamboo. And I will witness that in the mornings, because at nighttime when I'll be investigating, there will be nothing there. But in the morning, there'll be shredded bamboo everywhere. Just long threads, long shredded pieces of it, not like confetti, little pieces. Long threads, like, but thin, like long threads. If the bamboo was like, if the bamboo was like 13 foot tall, long, long shreds of bamboo just laying all over the ground. I would always find that, and the reason there's bamboo there is because of the creek, right? So there's bamboo on the land. So it would be just shredded, like in long shreds, like something cut the bamboo. Exactly, like, yeah, like sharpening a claws, or I don't know if maybe they had a weapon, something sharp that would just shred the bamboo. I believe in Jesus Christ. How about you, Hanif Kata? Yeah, I was always encountering the shredded bamboo. So it's like I was thinking, what kind of animal shreds bamboo? I mean, I know panda bear eats bamboo, right? We have no panda bear in Central Texas, and we don't have no bears in Central Texas. So what kind of animal shreds bamboo like that? I got a friend in Pakistan, brother. He sells minerals. He sells a lot of minerals. I have a friend that's from Pakistan. How you doing, Cleaver? But yes, uh, I could never find out what was shredding the bamboo like that. Something was, and he was always leaving it on the ground. I found another section like that on the other side of Elms Grove, where there was bamboo and he was shredded into pieces. I'm thinking it's like a marker when they shred the bamboo. Like when supposedly a Bigfoot places a log or a tree in the way, letting the people know, hey, this is my territory. Well, the shredded bamboo, I think, represents that too. But I think the shredded bamboo, for those cryptozoologists that believe in the cryptids, I think the shredded bamboo is letting you know, the dogman is letting you know, hey, I reside here. The trees, knocked down trees, and the logs across path is letting you know that a Sasquatch or Bigfoot lays there, but shredded bamboo represents, this is Dogman, Lycanthrope land. But if you all put it together, like I said, they have the abilities to manifest. It's about the belief factor, right? If they can get you to believe that a log or a tree that's knocked over, that a Bigfoot is doing it, then it's already got the spiritual opening. If it gets you to believe that the shredded bamboo that is living on the table or in the woods, that something with sharp claws is doing it, and making you think or believe that it's the dogman doing it or the lycanthrope, right? Then he's got a spiritual opening over you. Somebody said, "Tell me a childhood store or story." I think they spelled it wrong. Skillwalker. Learning time. I don't know what you're trying to imply, man. I'll let you stay here so long you're. I mean, I don't know. Tell me a child. Don't even know how to spell right. Somebody said birds aren't real. I'm from Texas. How about you? You say you're from Pakistan. I have friends from Pakistan that I buy minerals from. There we go. Getting rid of the trolls. Getting rid of more trolls. Sorry about that, folks. I always get the trolls around this time frame, especially when I'm talking about Jesus Christ. They surface up. And there's another one. They surface up. They surface up around this time frame, especially when we have a good crowd. They want to disrupt the show. So, no, I just put them out. That's what I do. Yeah, but the Skinwalker brothers and sisters, they can manifest into any form. Uh, they can manifest to look like you, one of your loved ones. They can mimic their voices. Like they call you thinking they're somewhere else, and like they try, especially when they lead you to the creek or to the woods that they're calling your name. Uh, that's how they get a lot of people. Is not saying the only way a skinwalker or shapeshifter can do something to somebody, like anything that's disembodied, you have to have a spiritual opening in order for them to have anything over you. Because through spiritual law, we are protected spiritually. So the only way they can affect you if you have a spiritual opening. That's the only way. If you give it power. Yeah, it's the corner of the cup guy. He's showing up with all his the corn huskers. Yeah, you know who it is, man, already. Sorry, whoever's reviewing. I get the trolls that come out at night from OKC. We call them the. Oh, we got a new nickname for them now. Since they're always talking about corn on the cob, we call them the corn huskers because they're like the the main guy likes eating corn the long way. He's always talking about it. The corn gobblers, yeah. Or can we call them corn goblins? Would that be better? Corn goblin gobblers. Because that's all they talk about, eating corn. You know, the guy, he's like, he talks about deep throwing corn and all this. You know, he's got some issues. That's all he likes, eating corn the long way. That's all he talks about. Very disrespectful. And that's a guy that comes here, is coming right now with all his fake profiles. Anything else anybody would like me to talk about? I'll share a story with you. Name a topic and I'll share a story with you. A topic, whether it's spiritual, cryptid, of whatever you want to talk about. I have stories. There he is, right there, the corn gobbler, the corn uh, goblin gobbler from OKC. Damn, you seen that? There he is. I beat him to the punchline. I said it before he even put it on there, because I already know what he was gonna say. Sorry about that, folks. You know, people sure know how to ruin a live. I got a branch drop there, branches over here. You know, somebody says to say a story of Jesus Christ. I think I've shared a lot of stories of Jesus Christ, of how things that he's done that is miraculous. When I was a kid, you know, I call this story the puddle of water. There was a hurricane that passed through. The flood water had already resided, so there were just puddles of water. There were just puddles of water. There was a puddle of water, right? My brother was playing in the puddle of water, and I was playing by the tree. Thank you. So as I was playing, he was playing in the puddle of water, and my brother was sad. You know, my mother was cooking inside the house, and he was sad. And I was like, "Hey, what's the matter, bro?" You know, he was my older brother, and he was like, "I wish I had a fish to play with." I was like, that he wants the fish to play with in the puddle of water, right? He said he was bored, and my mom had kept on telling us all throughout the day, "Get out of the puddle of water." You know, to get out of the puddle of water. So I pray to the Heavenly Father, Jesus Christ. I said, God, you know, at the time I was small. I said, God, can you please bless my brother? to play with a fish. So he will be sad. Can you bless him to play with the fish at least for today? So that was my prayer to God. I was a kid. That's what I said. Next thing you know, my brother said, "Hey, brother, there's something here looking through there's a hole in the by the puddle. There's something looking at me. There's an eye looking at me." That's what he's saying. There's an eye looking at me. So I go and I look and I see something blinking in the hole. Like it looks like an eye. Next thing you know, a fish, a little, the fish that came into the water was like his fish was like blue. It had it was pretty good size like this, and it was like God sent. Like this fish it was for him. Like it was just in the water going around him, and he would look at him so he could pet him, and it would just move around. So my mother's yelling at us. My mother's yelling at us, "Get out of the water!" My brother's like, I'm playing with a fish," and she's like, "There's no fish there, right?" Something fighting over there. It's la bruja. It's two cats fighting. So then what happened is, as my brother's playing with a fish, I'm there by the tree and I'm happy because God answered my prayer, right? Then my brother said, "Bro, there's another fish that's here in the water. Come play with it." So I'm like, "Another fish?" So I go over there to look at the water, and this fish was different. It looked kind of like golden. So the fish came up to me, stuck his head out of the water, and I was petting the fish, and I started playing with the fish, right? So he's playing with the fish, I'm playing with the fish. We're both in the puddle of water. And my mother's yelling at us, "Get out of the water. That water's nasty," right? And we're playing with fish. She's like, "There's no fish there." I said, "Look, Mom, come out here so you can look at the fish." She's like, "I'm not going to go out there. My tortillas are going to burn. There's no fish out there." So we're playing all day in the puddle of water. All day in the puddle of water. It's like around 5:30 in the afternoon. It's 5:30 in the afternoon, and the sun's starting to set. So the fish that my brother is playing with, he goes in a circle, goes into the hole. Then the fish that I'm playing with starts doing a little circle and goes after the other one into the hole that they came out of. So my brother's like, the fish, they escaped. So my brother takes all the puddle of water, all the water out of the puddle, out of the hole. He grabs a shovel and he's digs a hole, looking for the fish. And that yard had like 20 holes, 30 holes where my brother was digging, looking for this fish. Basically, the moral of this story is that when you pray truthfully to Jesus Christ, in true faith and believe in Him, that He will make things happen to you. Somebody asked me, when is it when you believe in Jesus Christ? Well, Jesus Christ has always been with me. We're children of the light. We're children of God. He's always with me. And He showed me He's been with me all along. Especially with the story of the puddle of water. I knew then, just like I know now, that He does exist and He's around us spiritually. My brother remembers playing with a fish. He's like, "Yeah, I remember that, bro. I remember that, bro." He remembers how He blessed us with a fish. So that's my story to whoever asked me for a story of how Jesus Christ works. How you doing, Sophia? That Jesus Christ does fulfill our prayers. And that prayer wasn't nothing. I didn't want nothing for me. It was about my brother, right? So I prayed for my brother. That's why prayer is very important, brother and sisters. I got another one, and it's dealing with fish, which I felt I cheated because I prayed. But it's like we went fishing at the port. My uncle, my dad had the fisher rods. They were casting the reels, and they were fishing all day. It was hot. They had a competition to see who caught the most fish. There was zero fishes being caught that day. So they were kind of sad. They were kind of dehydrated from the sun hitting them. The only thing I had was a piece of line and a hook. I put a little piece of shrimp on it. I hang it on a nail. I tied it to a nail that was on the pier. And I put it in the water. And I said, the mother was telling me, get away from there. You're too small. You're gonna fall into the water. You're gonna fall into the water. She was telling me to get away from the side of the pier. So I'm there, and I pray to God. Yes, I pray to God, and I say, Heavenly Father, please let us one of us catch a fish. So let one of us catch a fish, so at least we can have a fish fry when we get home, something to eat, right? That's what I pray for. So we're there. They're casting. They're not catching nothing, and I'm picking up the fishing line from the nail, and it feels heavy. I'm picking it up, and I see a big old face looking at me, like looking at me. I picked it up and I yanked it on top of the pier. It landed on the pier. My uncle and my dad looked like, oh shoot! It was a big old redfish. It was flapping on the pier. It was huge. My uncle jumped on it so it wouldn't escape. I mean, this fish was humongous. And they're like, oh, he caught a fish with that line and the little hook. And I was happy. They're like, you're the fisherman of the day and all this stuff. We're going to have a fish fry with this one. And then after that, I caught I believe two more fish with the same little line. Two more fish. So we had the big fish and two other fish. And we had a fish fry with that fish. But in all honesty, since I pray to Heavenly Father, it's kind of like I feel like I cheated, right? But no, that's what we're supposed to do, right, brothers and sisters, is pray. Pray for blessings. Pray for a fish to capture, to be able to eat it. And it happened. It happened that way. Maybe the fish were just, I'm not going to say it was coincidental, but the pier, underneath the pier is shade, which is cold. I don't know. Maybe the fish was just. But prayer is important. I still believe to this day that it was Jesus Christ that blessed me with not just that fish, but two other fish after that. Not as big as that big redfish, but we were able to have a fish fry. Yes, I can help people that are being spiritually attacked, the people that have attachments on them, people that are possessed. I can free them from whatever's bonding them spiritually through Jesus Christ. All through Jesus Christ. What's going on, 4Q? Well, the only thing I know, Ricky Chavez, is that these people, that's what they're about, especially the guy in charge of them. That's what they do, man. He trolled me for over a year and a half, messing with me for a year and a half with fake profiles, and they continue to do that here. That's why I keep on kicking them out. I don't know if that's your homeboy or what, because you're here, but that's what he's about. He trolled me for a year and a half. under this fake profile he had. And I ain't even gonna say it because that's the past. I done forgave him, but he don't want to change his ways, man. He wants to be into corn on the cob. There's nothing I can do about that. He thinks that everybody eats corn on the cob like he does. So that dude's got some serious issues. I prayed for the guy, but he still doesn't want to change his ways. I can't do nothing to help him if he don't want help. That's all I'm saying. Chavez is not directed to all the people from OKC. He's only directed to that guy that likes corn on the cob, because the way he eats corn on the cob. Well, Rocky Chavez, I done forgave him, but I'm just bashing his fake profiles as he comes in here. So, what can I do, man? You don't want to change his ways? No, screw him. That's what I gotta say. But I forgive him daily. But sometimes those kind of people, they have to learn the hard way. And eventually he's gonna learn the hard way. Something gonna happen to him with that kind of behavior. He's gonna run into the wrong person, and that's it. It's gonna be a done deal. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you, man. People like that, they mess around, they run out of luck. I'm just saying, man. That's what happens. I don't have to do nothing to that guy. He comes here acting a fool. I just leave it up to Jesus Christ. He's already in a situation where he already lost his son because the things he does. So his situation is his situation. But he want to come in here trolling me and saying bad things. I just speak the truth. Like I said, I forgive people like that daily. That's no big deal to me. The only thing is, if you want some positive changes in life, he's got to do the right thing. That's what this group is about, doing the right thing. How does he expect for Jesus Christ to bless him if he keeps on continuing living in sin, and doing the things that he does, right? So I'm thinking Ricky Chavez is this idiot. So Ricky Chavez, you're out of here. He's like trying to defend him, but it's probably him acting like Ricky Chavez. That's why I booted him out. That's the first time I ever seen that dude here. This is what I have to go through, guys. That I'm trying to have a show, It's already going to be almost 4 in the morning. We'll be going 2 hours and 24 minutes. And people just want to come in here disrespectful, Trying to... I never heard of no Ricky Chavez. I'm thinking that was the same guy acting like the troll, He got mad because I started making fun of him about the corn in the cob. Yeah. That's why I booted him out. I don't get time to be playing games with these clowns. I don't know why he just don't pop up with his regular profile, right? So we can have a discussion here. You want to use all these fake profiles. It's ridiculous. He's really got some issues. Well, for those that have been here for a while, that's what he does, I don't know. They never heard of Ricky Chavez, man. I booted him out because it seemed like it was that guy pretending to be him. You see, he's lucky that I'm spiritual Abe that I'm relaxing up, because he would be coming at me like that when I was in the military, and if he was in the military back then when I wasn't in this stage in life, I would have already taught him a lesson real quick. His lesson would have already been taught to him. But I try to be a different person now. I used to have soldiers. When I was a sergeant, that tried to test me out. You know, some of these guys were coming from gangs and stuff like that, trying to say they're not going to listen to me, that they're going to do whatever they want to do. So okay, take them a video top. I said, come on, let's go over here to the woods. So we're gonna solve your attitude problem. And so we're gonna find out if you're gonna follow my orders or not. And they're like, what are you talking about, Sergeant? So we're gonna find out. You saying you're not gonna listen to me? You're gonna disrespect me? I said, we're gonna find out right now. You're gonna find out. We're gonna find out who's gonna be the boss. And I had to do what I had to do to get somebody out of that mentality that they're untouchable, or the gang mentality. I had a the reason I had to do that, brothers and sisters, is because a tank is a 4-man crew. And a 4-man crew, we have to be like a unit. We all have to work together and get along together, because if we're not a unit, that means that somebody's not going to have somebody's back, right? So you have to get the people in line to become a unit. I have to teach the people how to survive a combat environment, because that's my responsibility. I have to let them know how to be aware of certain situations. I have to teach them everything I know. So in saying that, the dude that comes here and interrupts my live feeds, I had an opening from a long time ago to teach him a lesson in life. He never took that opportunity. He never took it. But if he needs a lesson in life, I'll teach him a lesson in life. That's no problem. That's what I do. I do spiritual lessons, and if it's something that maybe his dad didn't teach him because he didn't have a dad, or his mom didn't teach him, I could be Sergeant CS for one day, and I could teach him a lesson in life. I did 10 years in the military, from 89 to 99, in the United States Army. I'll teach him a valuable lesson in life. If that's what he wants. I don't think that's what he wants. I don't go into his live feed. I don't watch his channel at all. I don't got time for that. And just because he comes here, don't mean I'm going to do the same thing. Two negatives don't make a right. So I just focus on spiritual encrypted encounters. That's what I focus on. And I focus on those that allow me to do live feeds with them, like Paranormal Round Table. This guy dislikes my friend, brother Josh Turner, sister Nellie Turner. Paranormal Round Table, he dislikes them. So because I do lives with Paranormal Round Table on Fridays, he's hating me. That's where he comes here and starts trying to bash me. It's not my fault that I've been around the world. I've worked. I've been around the world, served my country, now do the spiritual works. Instead of, in his case, just living in his mama's house, not working, but uses his channel to, how should I say, steal people's money because he's supposedly a victim of something. He's always a victim of something on his channel. He's always asking for donations for his son that is being raised by his mother. You know, you can win with this guy, but he wants to come here and mess with my channel. You know, I tell him, look, I even extended an olive branch to this guy. So look, don't comment on my channel. Leave me alone. You leave me alone. Said, I ain't gonna say nothing about you. Just leave my channel alone. Respect my channel. Just like I don't mess with your channel, leave me alone. But no, he comes here with his fake profiles and his other buddies that come mess with my channel. So here I am talking about this fool. Then I don't need to be wasting my time talking about him because I could be talking about something dealing with something spiritual. So in saying that, yeah, I'm just saying, you know, I'm not upset. All I'm saying is that Heavenly Father doesn't like dirty, you know, and that's what he does. You know, comes in here disrespectful. You know, sooner or later, uh, that karma is going to come around, and when he comes and hits him again, like it hit him already once, then he's going to know that hey, I need to change my ways. And sometimes it takes that for somebody to go through something rough, right? Through something rough, but in some, by then it's too late because that's our last chance here on earth, and it's too late, you know. And I'll share a story with you, you know, something of that nature before I talk about something else. I got invited to a party. I had a cousin that had gotten murdered, right? Like a year passed by. I got invited to go to a party. I'm at a party. I was still in the military. And I was there, and my younger sister was there because she knew the people from the party. And she tells me, hey, bro, I don't think it's a good idea for you to be here. The person there is one of the persons that messed with our cousin's body, right? So I look at the guy, and I just ignore him. So I'm sitting there, and then the guy comes, and he's got a bunch of hundreds, $100 bills. He's like, hey man, you got change for 100? And he's laughing, you know. I said, no, I don't got change for no 100. Then he looks at me. He's like, hey man, sorry about what happened to your cousin. And he's laughing, like he's making fun of what happened to my cousin, because he's one of the people that handle his body, right? So they leave, and when they come back, one of the guys has a gun in his hand, and he's flashing his gun that he's got in a holster right here. He's flashing it to me. To me, when somebody flashes a weapon in that nature, that means that they're calling you out, right? So it's all right. I went behind the sofa. I had my own weapons. I ain't gonna say what they were. All I'm saying, I got it right in front of him, and he's by the door, and I'm looking at him and have my weapons in my hands. And I said, what you gonna do? I said, you wanted my attention? I said, what you gonna do? And I'm looking at him. I'm looking straight in his eyes. So what are you gonna do? And I'm waiting for him to make a move to his weapon, so I can do what I gotta do, right? He looks at me, and he gets scared, and he walks away. And the things that he says is, "You're not in the pinta, man," or whatever, and he takes off. And I told him, "You're lucky. You're lucky that I didn't do nothing to you." I said, "But the way you are, so you're gonna run into somebody. You're gonna run into the wrong people, and it's gonna be too late." He left. 2 weeks later, the same guy. He went there to this motel, with a hand. The gun he had in his holster, he had it in his hand. He's walking into, I guess, to settle some business with somebody. He walked into the hotel room, and he never came out. Because as soon as he walked in with a hand in his gun, guess what happened to him? He ran into the wrong person, and they took care of him. So that guy does not exist no more in this world. I'm just saying, man, that I created this channel to help out people, right? To try to awaken people spiritually, to talk to them about a love foundation, talk to them about placing Jesus Christ first, not to fear, not to have anger. But you got people like this guy that comes in here that I know for a fact that sooner or later, karma gonna get him when it's gonna bite him, man. It's gonna bite him. I try to warn him. I'm trying to warn him, but he continues, and it's eventually what's gonna happen. He's messing with too many people. That sooner or later somebody gonna get him. I see people like this and this nature come and go out of my life. That's a true story. This guy had nothing but $100. The money he had, those $100 bills, was all drug money. He was willing and dealing, right? Made fun of my cousin. 2 weeks later, he's gone. Gone from the face of the earth. All because of self-pride. All because of, I can do whatever I want to do, and nobody's going to touch me. Nobody's going to do nothing to me because I'm a bad mama jamma. I'm a bad person. That guy, I warned him. I can sense things. I warned him. He's not here no more. That's what happens. People want to act bad, like they're a bad man, Gemma. That a karma is always waiting around the corner, man. You keep on doing people dirty, dirty's going to come to you through karma. I'm just letting you know. It's going to come back to him. I'm telling you. Yeah, I mean, he pretends he's just because he reads a scripture out of the Bible, don't mean he believes in Jesus Christ. I'm just here to let you know. Where there's people that are giving him money because he places a scripture. The thing that he does here, that he comes here trolling me saying disrespectful things, that by itself, that's his true nature. That is his true nature. If I only say something, it's because he comes and interrupts my live feed, right? So I have to bring this up to let everybody know what's going on with this guy. He got issues. He got issues, man. I don't know if his daddy issues, mama issues. I don't know who raised him, or if, but he's got some issues, When you lose your son because you can't be a father to him, that's just to let you know. Then you got too much. It is what it is. You got too much time messing with people instead of finding a job, instead of being a father to your son, that your son is not with you no more because you're incapable of being a father to him. So now he's with his mother. Then you want to come to my group and try to mess with me because your son is not with you, and you blame everybody else in the cryptid community, paranormal community, that everything that's happening to you It's everybody else's fault besides yours. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. If if I had to raise your son, I would raise your son, and your son would be a very respectful kid. I'll tell you that. And he will finish high school. And because become successful in life. Yeah, Oklahoma, take accountability for your actions, bro. It's your actions. Your actions, that's why you're in the situation you are. I'm not the one. I've done my job of raising my son and be those for the people that are around me. Look in the mirror, man. Blame yourself, bro. Find yourself a freaking job or two jobs. Stop messing with people and go work. Get on your feet. I'm telling you the secret. You want your son back? Work two jobs. Show the system that you're a hard-working man, and show them that you want your son back. I'm just letting you know, man. I know how it is. I raised my son by myself, man. So stop blaming me. Stop blaming others for what you failed to do. I don't know if you got a father that raised you or not, or he didn't teach you the right way, or your mother didn't teach you the right way. Whatever the case might be, man, you can do something about it. But you really have to set in your mind, stop messing with people. Stop trolling the people start depending on free money. Because you gotta work. You gotta work in this world to especially you want your son back, you gotta have a job. A job that you're working. They don't want to know that you're working for a part-time job. They want a full-time job. They want to see that at least you're working for over a year or 2 years in that job. So I would say to you, get off your ass. This RNC is speaking now. Get off your freaking ass and go find yourself a freaking job or two jobs, full-time jobs. If you really love your son that much, do something about it, man. Don't blame everybody else for your mess up, man. That's all I'm saying. You got to work. I was working two jobs at the age of 16 years old, man. Two jobs. I'll go half a day to school, work from 12:30 till 5 o'clock at one job, and then I work from like 5:05 till 10:30 at another job when I was only 16 years old. You're a grown-ass man. I'm just being straight up, man. I do this podcast because I like preaching to my brothers and sisters, those that want to listen spiritually to what I have to say. But when I have to go to the side and I have to speak to you in truth, because I'm speaking in truth to you, what it's going to take for you to fight for your son, and you're not doing that, all you're doing is, I see begging for money. I'm not the only one that's seen it. Trust me. The people that took your son away, the government, they're seeing that too, what you're about. Say, I can't pay child support. They won't get it out of you one way or the other. That's why it's important you get a job right now, because sooner or later, if you're not paying child support, you'll be like this, behind bars, man. And you're gonna be like, dang it, I should have listened to Brother Abe Cia slash Sarnasius. He was speaking truth to me. It's never too late to change your ways, man. Be responsible. You brought that boy into this world. Support him. Take care of him. Even if you have to give money to his mom, give him the money. Well, I'm just being straight up, man. Uh, this stuff, this show that he's talking about, bring his son home and all this crap. I'm calling it crap because to him, he's using his son as to bait you in for money, so you can give him money. That's all he's doing. His son is with his mother. His mother's raising him right now. He was keeping his son away from his mom. You know, the they came and intervened. Now the son is with the mother, and he's pissed off. But he is using the son as a bait for money for the viewers of his channel to feel sorry for him, that for them to give him money for donations, because he's used to being a bum. He's used to freeloading off of people. That's what that's a proper word, freeloader. So he likes to pretend to be the victim of his circumstances, when it's necessarily it's on him. It's not on me. And it's messed up, like I said, that I have to speak about this in my channel, because he come in here disrespectfully and acting like an idiot, that I'm putting him on blast, that he needs to look himself in the mirror and blame himself and stop messing with people. If he spent that much time messing with people, he could find himself a dang night job, work night shift, and go mess with a job. You know what I'm saying? Mess with a job instead of messing with people. You like messing with people at nighttime? Find yourself a job. You might like messing with people during the day, midday. Find a job. You like messing with people in the evening time? Find yourself a night job, night shift from 6 to 6 in the morning. It'll keep you from messing with people, and it'll make you money to keep in your pocket. You have an income coming in to show the courts, hey, I'm working. I got this. You know, whether you have to pay child support, or maybe the court sees you're fit to be able to raise your son, maybe you can get him back. But you got to make the effort, bro. Make the effort. I mean, honestly, bro, he can go get himself a job. You know, if you get yourself, you say you got all these different personalities, go find yourself a job at a distribution center where you're hearing all these numbers, telling you which eye to go pick. So like that, you know, it gets you away from the temptation of being a troll. Go find yourself a job at nighttime, working the night shift. You're going to be too tired to be messing with anybody when you get off that job from order filling. I'm just being honest, you know, because you come in here talking all kinds of crazy stuff, interrupting my show, messing with the viewers, being disrespectful. They're not here to see that this fool acting a fool because he's not getting his way with what happened in his life. You know, I'm definitely not messing in your group. You coming into my group, so since you come into my group, I can say whatever the hell I want to say, and I'm saying it to you straight up. Whichever one is you. I'm being straight up, man. I'm trying to help you. I'm giving you words of wisdom and advice of how to be able to get your son back. I've been telling you, and you still don't want to get a job. I don't know. Maybe he's got a sign job where it says, "I work for food." Who stands by a bridge during the day? I don't know, man. I don't know what he does during the day. But I've seen people like that. They have those signs that they work for food. And I follow a lady one time. I seen her where she went. She went between some cars. She got into a brand new truck and drove away. Panhandlers. Sorry about all that, brothers and sisters, but I'm just being. Sometimes you have to be straight up with people, especially when they come at you in a negative way. You know. Yeah, that's what this, brother Alex. That's what it is, man. That's why they surface up at 3 in the morning. I'm making a live. Y'all see me drinking water, and this guy's made money from his show. Made it probably like what, 100, $120. So him and his homeboys are partying, passing around the freaking rock, the meth, smoking that meth. That's why they pop in here all crazy at 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. He sure got so many different things that you can send them money to. You can send me a PayPal. You can send me to this, to that, to this link, to that. We're taking donations. This guy says, devote more of your time to Jesus and you will be saved, even if you do meth. I don't know about this guy, man. He's gonna be all methed out. That I don't know. This people, this guy's got some serious issues. When I mean, it's 3 something in the morning. No, I ain't messing with this guy. You want to come and stay stuff in my channel, not just on my channel. He goes through other people's channels and acts a fool there. No difference than he acts here. Very disrespectful to people's wives. Trust me, man. I don't think you want to go that route with me because I will make it to where it lives, and things will not be pretty. That's all I gotta say. Very disrespectful guy. Sick individuals. I say sick individuals because it's more than one. It's a lot of them. Sick individuals. And I know that this is you, bro. I've been knowing. How come you don't get a job to support your son? Last time you said you hated your son. Telling you, man, the route you're going, man. You know, I don't think you're gonna make it. I don't know how old you are, but I don't think you're gonna make it too much longer in this world. I mean, You look sick already as it is. Like you don't take care of yourself, smoking all that crack. Find yourself a job, dude. You like the corn on the cob too, don't you? That was a guy again infiltrating with trying to use Spanish names, but it's him. Probably all methed out right now. But in saying that, brothers and sisters, I'm sorry for the disruption, but it hadn't happened in a while. They surfaced up since it's late. They surfaced up. It's 4:23. I don't want to keep you all too long. I'm going to go for a little bit longer. I just want to say thank you to all those that tune in here on Spiritual Encrypted Encounters. Like I said, I'm sorry for this guy disrupting my video. The only thing I can say is sooner or later, by the path that he's on, that he will eventually fail. Fall even further down, deeper into what he already is in. Well, I know what he's trying to do, but I don't care. I'm going to say how it is. And you're out of here too, troll. There you go. I send them all out. Let me see some of these other comments here. I deleted. It was like they come. It's just the brother, the sister, the freaking mother, the daughter, and whoever else. The other crackheads are hanging around them. They come and troll me at nighttime. Sorry about that. And the reason is I was speaking directly to him because I know who he is, and I was just letting him know what I thought about the guy. But in saying that, I think I'm going to finish tonight's live feed. I want to finish it with a positive note. A positive note. Instead of, how should I say, trying to teach somebody something, about what to do to get their life straight. And that's what I was doing to him. Because he don't want to change his ways. But in saying that, I'm going to leave this with this story here. Y'all might have heard it already. I'm not sure. It's about being spiritually tested. I was struggling myself when I left the military because, I was sick when I left the military. And I was trying to get help for me and my son because I was raising my son. I had gone to get help, to try to get help, like assistance for him for Medicaid and stuff like that. Since I was a veteran, since I'm a veteran, they could help me, in which I went for assistance, in which it did help me. But before I walked into the building, there was this gentleman, this young man. He was barefooted. His feet were dirty. He was sitting on the bench. He asked me a question. He asked me, why does God feed all these birds, but he can't feed me? That's what he asked me. He asked me the same thing twice. And I told him, I'll be right back to give you an answer. I went inside. I turned in my paperwork to them. I came outside and I asked them again, what did you Just ask me. He said, how come God can feed all these birds, but he can't feed me? That's what he asked me. I said, come with me. I got him in the truck, took him a couple of blocks down the street. There was a Jack in the Box. I said, get whatever you want. He got like 3 meals. He was like really hungry. So get whatever you want on the menu. I don't care. He was tearing it up, eating up that food because he was real hungry. Yeah, I even got him a drink to go and a food to go. So I took him back to the bench, and I looked at him. Said, "Remember the question? How come God feeds all the birds, but He can't feed you? Well, God has fed you now." Said, "But I got a question for you because I felt that he was being demonized, right? That something was bonding him. I could feel that something was bonding him, like he had given up in life." And I asked him a question. I asked him, "How long have you been homeless?" He said he was homeless since he was like 16 years old. And I said, "Well, how did you become homeless?" And he's like, "Well, my mother was dating this guy. This guy hit me with a wrench on the back of my head, and he had a big scar like ran down like this on his back of his head, and I ran away from home, and I haven't gone ever since." So he had moved to Austin. He was living in Austin as a homeless person, and some way or another, he made it all the way to Killeen. So he was there in Killeen, and I was like, "What if I were to tell you that maybe you're wrong, that your mother doesn't love you, because I believe that she does love you." And I could sense the the demonic spirit that was trying to keep a grasp on him. I said, "She does love you," and he was like acting a certain way. I said, "She loves you, and Jesus Christ loves you." When I said Jesus Christ loves you, boom, the demonic the demon that had the possession over him took off. Then I asked him a question. I asked him, "Do you might by any chance know her number?" I know it's been a long time. This guy knew her number from that many years, like on top of his head. He's here, dial the number. I made her, I made him dial the number on my phone, and I'm on the phone like this, and it's a woman, and I said, "Hello, is your name so and so?" I said, "Yes," and she starts crying off the bat. She's crying and says, don't tell me that my son is dead." I said, "No, ma'am," and he's listening. I said, "I'm just calling you because I'm letting you know that your son is right here with me. Do you want to speak to your son?" She started crying. Said, tell him I love him, tell him I love him." And it sounds loud, and he's listening to me, and he starts crying. I said, "Here, man, well, let me you talk to him." So they start talking. She's crying, and she told him it was in Killeen. I said, "Look, I'll stay here with him till you get here." She said she was like an hour away. So I stayed there till she got there. She got off, gave him a big hug and a kiss, and he was freaking crying. And they're telling me thank you. And I said, "God bless y'all, love y'all." They got in the vehicle, and she left with them. But it's things like that can change the fate of somebody's life. But it was my spiritual duty to get rid of what was causing him to believe that his mother didn't love him, which was the demon that was attached to him, or the unclean spirit, right? Demonic spirit that was attached to him that didn't want to let him go. When I said Jesus loves you, boom, it took off real fast. That's the power of Jesus Christ. as you play Jesus Christ first, that it can make whatever's bonding somebody flee. True story. I just wanted to share that with y'all, brothers and sisters. I was, I was crying from the inside out when, especially when the mom came and they're reunited. He was already like 23 years old, so 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 7 years have passed by. 7 years have passed by, and she thought he was dead. You know, the mother thought he was dead, but they reunited. Thank God, you know, and I know that it was it's going to be a hard work for recovery, but I know with his mom's love that he recovered. I just wanted to finish that with a positive note, which that was a positive story. I wanted to finish that with a positive story. I hope you all enjoyed tonight's live feed. Uh, Thank you for tuning in, brothers and sisters. Uh, Still got a lot of work to do here, uh, but I'm going to call it a night. Y'all have a beautiful, blessed day. God bless y'all. And there's old boy, he keeps on coming with his fake profiles. But in saying that, y'all have a beautiful, blessed evening. God bless you. Good night. Hasta la vista. Peace out.